So my name is Milka Milliance, and I am a leadership consultant and executive coach. I am based right here in Miami. My company is called We Are Artemis Leadership. I am the CEO and founder of this company, and my work primarily focuses on working with both organizations and individuals to develop a more expansive view of leadership, to take a different approach to how they first lead others. And I believe that starts with leading yourself. The more self-aware you are, the more emotionally intelligent you are, the more effective you'll be as a leader, and the more you'll be able to build trust, transparency in your organization's culture.
Imagine you're 40 days trapped in your home and you have to focus on doing one thing, just one thing. What would that be?
Right now, with what's going on in the world with the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic, what I would ask most leaders who are still managing teams, if you have people working remotely, what I would really ask people to focus on right now is developing the resilience. This is a key competency that as a leader, this is the time to develop it. And resiliency is the ability to bounce back from adversity. It's the ability to, you were down and then you're able to, get back up. And not only do you get back up, when you get back up, you're better on the other side.
It's really interesting because I don't know if this happens to many people, but sometimes I think of resilience as an innate attribute of a person. But you're talking about training and becoming resilient. How is the process? How does that work?
When we think of resilience, we do believe it is a unique quality or trait or characteristic that a person has. What we forget is that person has had to develop that. For example, children of immigrants are a great example, whether you immigrated as a child or your first generation, and you've had to adopt a new culture and you learn a new language, or your parents don't speak the language and you have to translate for them all the time and you're that bridge. This is a skill set that they develop at a very young age that can take them, that goes into adulthood. Or children who've gone through very difficult life circumstances. Those are traditionally the people we think who you will see through their life trajectory that they've developed resiliency. Another way to do it, though, is in moments like this, is being able to step back. That's the first thing, and take stock of what's happening around you, and take the time to understand the environment that you're in, the role that you're playing in that environment, and those who are also you're coming into contact with, whether it's in your home or professionally, and starting to think, okay, what can I do in this situation right now to ensure that I am net positive to the situation? So one way to do it, for example, is controlling your environment as much as you can. Understanding we live in a chaotic world right now, and this new normal is not something that it came at us very quickly. But little things that you can do right now is creating a schedule for yourself and being ruthless about keeping that schedule. Spending more time with your family, being more communicative with the people that you lead in your organization, and creating an environment where there's flexibility and you build in things that perhaps normally you may not you may not be as flexible. Now is the time to allow people to come to you to help them. A part of becoming resilient is your capacity to have empathy, to empathize with other people, and to use that empathy to help them navigate and yourself navigate the current situation.
Have empathy with the people you're living with your team, and have empathy also with yourself, probably.
Yes. I'm so happy you said that. I think before you can empathize with others, you have to be able to empathize with yourself. And that is something we often forget. This is not the moment to be hard on yourself if you're not meeting all your goals, if you're not crushing it, if you're not on your hustle all the time. This is not the time for that. And when you give yourself a break, you're also able to give others a break as well. So if there's something that you particularly care about, something that's been on the back burner, now could be a good time to start a new project like what you're doing.
You mentioned trust in the context of leadership and learning resilience. I would like to talk about it in the context of travel and tourism.
I recently came across a video clip on LinkedIn of the CEO of Marriott,
Oh, Arne.
Arden, yeah, Sorensen.
Yeah.
And I was really taken aback about that. It was a very empathetic video. You could tell, particularly towards the end, that
Mhm.
he cared about uh, his colleagues, and he cared about, and the fact that they had to lay some people off was just, his heart was ripping, and you could see that in his face. That is one way, a very genuine way, when a person can show you that there's a level of empathy, and also that they are scared too. It takes down that, what if it's that veil or that perspective that, leaders, that old perspective that leaders know everything, they have all the answers, and they don't. And very often they're trying to figure things out just as quickly as everyone else is. We're becoming fearful of people, that a person might be carrying a germ that could hurt you.
Mhm.
In a world where there was already enough distancing because of our telephones and us always, being connected, but not really connected personally. So now you add this pandemic, and this shift that's going to happen in our mindset, that does make it more challenging to even believe that you can trust things again. However, until now, whenever we would get up, go out on the street, drive our cars, we trust that our cars would get us to where we needed to go. If we're driving on a bridge, we're not fearful that the bridge is going to collapse in the middle of our drive, right? If you think of everything you do in a given day, from the moment when you get out of your bed, if you do not trust that things have integrity, from the things in your home, the structure of your home, to your car, the road, the bridge, the coffee that you drink, if you don't trust there's a level of integrity in all of these things, it would be impossible to go through life.
But you brought up an interesting fact, which is uh, brands can generate trust, right? I mean, you said it with the cars. Yes, you trust your car because probably you selected your car because of something. Um, so in travel and tourism, that's going to be very interesting because yes, you will trust the brands or the companies that create this confidence by being empathetic, as you were saying.
Yep.
Arne in Marriott was a great example, and we all hope they can bounce back because with them, a lot of other smaller businesses will
They
bounce back
will.
too.
And on a personal level, for me, and I'm not endorsing any of these companies at any means, but they are companies that I've made a decision years ago. Those are the two companies for my travel that I primarily use. And you know what? They've actually, both Delta and Marriott, for me, they have represented, the values of my values, the things that I care about. They've actually demonstrated that. So I trust them even more now than I did 2 months ago.
So
The brand.
they used this crisis to strengthen their position with, in this
For
case,
me,
specifically with you.
the more we all do our part, and it's that mindfulness that this is not business as usual. The things that we care about, like I don't want to see them go out of business because I want them to still be there 2 months from now. So I
Yeah.
do my part to at least try to support them as well.